So I didn't know how to purchase tickets, but I believe you just purchase tickets here, tickets inside, yeah. And about a 5-minute walk up to the cave.
Okay, here we are. It will cool off a little bit. This area back here, that's our bat grotto. Now, somewhere back in the recesses of that cave, within the cave, the bats are roosting for the day.
Okay.
I'm not here at dusk to see them fly out, but my coworkers tell me at dusk they come flying out of that gate by the hundreds, if not thousands. Now, we had a couple that were, there's a couple up here roosting. Look, I'm not going to put my light directly on them right there. There's one there.
Okay, I see them.
Together. They do like to roost together. So we won't see them flying probably, but maybe one or two will break loose and fly. All right, so we did see some bats.
So did I get through the guide?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or did I leave the guide out?
No, they get through all the openings in the gate. Yeah, they go by echolocation, so they can tell where the bars are and stuff. This is flowstone right here. It's caused by water just flowing slowly down. This one dried pretty quickly. We can tell because it's really dull. Further deeper in, we have some flowstone that's very sparkly. It's closer to the water. The longer it takes to evaporate, the sparkly it gets from the calcite crystals. If at any time you feel a stalactite drip on you, a cool drop of water, that's called a cave kiss, so don't be alarmed.
Okay.
Right, our stalactites, you probably know stalactites. Here's one right here getting ready to drip. This one here, as they drip, they grow longer. They connect with the stalagmite on the bottom and it grows up. Eventually they'll meet in the middle, like over 1,000 years or so, and then you get columns like these. Little ones back there, and the columns can get thick as well as long. And this bumpy stuff you see is called popcorn, but it also goes by the name of cave coral, and that is caused by just seepage coming up through like little cracks in the rock, and when the water evaporates, the calcite forms these little popcorn or cave coral formations that we call them. All right, let's move on. You'll notice as we're walking through the dips in the walls. Yeah. Looks like somebody took a scoop to the walls. And I'll tell you what that's all about here in a little bit. Most of our formations have animal and food names, as you'll see. Right here we have our cow udder. Right. And then down here, you see the shadow, see our stalagmite? I take my light away, he becomes our prairie dog.
Oh, wow.
See the stream down here. Now, if you guys elect to take the lower passage out the wild cave, we can see, we'll be able to see through most of the way. It's like its own cave system down there, it really is. It's a lot more lax, though, so you get plenty of light from up above. So you get light from above, there are no railings or walkways down there, but you can touch the walls all you want. The walls kind of act as your railing.
Okay.
There aren't the formations down there that there are up here, so it's fine to touch them. All right, this is called the bridge room. And here's some more of that divoting in the wall. Looks like it's been scooped out. This is called scalloping. The scalloping tells us that at one point this cavern was filled with water. The larger scalloping, like down here at the bottom, shows that it was a slow-moving current going by. And when you see smaller scalloping, like up here, up in this area here particularly, that indicates a very fast-moving current. This formation is called a ribbon. Sometimes stalactites, instead of dripping straight down, they drip against the wall. Every drop that comes after it will drip on that same drip on the wall till we form a ribbon. When the ribbon is thin enough, it gets translucent and forms cave bacon, and I'll show you some of that later. And when you get a lot of ribbons together, they form a drapery like this right here. Hey, how you doing? Are you heading down?
Yeah, my threesomes, 2 of them are down there, the mom's up top. I'm going to lock the gate. I'll bring back the keys.
No, they left the stanchion there. We're going to leave it open all day.
Oh, sweet.
But when you get down there, tell them I got a dead walkie.
Oh, okay.
So they're not hearing anything from you.
Okay, all right.
Get down here.
Well, that makes it so much easier.
Right? Okay, now if we were to scrape everything off these walls, because it's all calcite, every drop of water that hits this mountain and drains out a stalactite takes 1 to 4 years for that to happen. But every drop of water has calcite in it. If we were to scrape all the calcite off the walls, it would all be marble underneath, like this spot here, right here, and this that goes from the floor all the way to the ceiling. It's all marble underneath. Alrighty, let's move on. Okay, here we have a couple things. Let's just stand about here, I think. We have our one-eyed catfish mouth. Looks like he's sliding out of the flowstone. And see the light in the distance right there? Look down and to the right of this light here. You should see a skull formation.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And what's more of a skull profile. Up here we have our coyote getting ready to bathe the moon. And up here there's another cave within a cave. It looks like a person could kind of get up there. I imagine Boyden went everywhere his body would fit. He had almost 10 years in this cavern to explore every inch of it that he could. Back behind us we have our upside down city. And I call it Seattle because of the Space Needle right here. Now these stalactites mostly been covered in a cave coral, or the popcorn. But they all start out as a soda straw like that one right there. It is a perfect cylinder and it is hollow. Somebody at some point in the way past said, let me break this off and see if I can drink my sarsaparilla out of it. And they did. Eventually, most of them get clogged on the inside from calcite. And once that happens, that's when the water starts dripping around the outside and forms a more conical shape that we're used to like these. We also have some Stalactites. These ones here with the spurs hanging off them on the side of this little spiral in the foreground. It's pretty rare, but sometimes when a stalactite is dripping, before the water gets to the point to drip off, it evaporates along the shaft of the stalactite. Once it evaporates there and it leaves that calcite behind, the drops that come after it will form and evaporate on that spur. So I said they're rare. I've counted less than 10 in the cavern, and these are the largest ones. Also, the most of them are right here. All right, this is called our pancake room because of the resemblance of this flowstone formation to a short stack of pancakes. It even has syrup dripping down the sides and a pat of butter on top. And this flowstone also dried quickly. You can tell because it's dull. There's one more thing I show back here, and that is our bear. This is 1, 2. He's right about here. There's our cave bear. He was formed by water erosion as well. Marble is one of the most water-soluble rocks on the planet. Very easy for water to cut through it. So when the water was flowing through here 100,000 years ago, it carved them into that shape for us. All right, and then this is, you can see the lower passage here too. Okay, now next we're going into the Imagination Grotto. I don't really point out much there. It's a very busy room. A lot of formations going on, but nothing specific. Immediately after that, we have the Headache Maker hallway. Please, I can't stress enough, always be aware of where your head is going. I imagine he probably slept wherever he could when Boyden was in here. We think he spent most of the time near the front gate though, because up on the ceiling there's evidence of soot from his fires. One thing I do comment on in this room is why I don't understand why we have no signal down here in the canyon on our phones. Because we have 4 bars right there.
4 bars.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And this is the passage to the lower area. This is the Headache Maker hallway. And here is some of our sparkly flowstone. You can see all the sparkle all over it.
Yeah.
Being closer to the water, it took longer to evaporate, and it could have taken years. They're very slow growing. This is like this is where it really cools down to 55 degrees, is about in this room.
Okay.
And it's just so refreshing after a hot day outside.
Yeah, it is.
Just kind of want to hang out in here. Okay, this room is called our wedding hall because of back behind you, we have our wedding cake formation.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of our most popular columns. We get, we had a newlywed couple recently and a couple celebrating their 30th anniversary, taking pictures in front of it. But I think, you know, even if cake, you like cake or cool formations, I'd take a picture.
Yeah.
Next to that, this is called Glitter Falls. Formed just the same way as the pancake stack. You can see there's another cave within a cave way back up in there. It goes pretty far. Somewhere we're not able to explore. This formation is called the brain. Also goes by the name of cauliflower. And it's a little damp right now, so it looks kind of funky, but it does dry out to get more like this. Behind the brain and over there at the base of Glitter Falls, that is our largest rimstone ring pool that I've seen. There's some, these are the second largest. They start out, they're just a little puddle, just a little hole in the ground like this one here, like these here. They're filled with water, and as the stalactites drip into them, the ripple effect as it carries out will leave a minute quantity of calcite each time, and over years, thousands of years, you get these big rims like this. This is called a pendant right there, the way it sticks out from the wall. And down here we have, you need to stretch your imagination here, guys. This is our alligator formation.
Okay.
Above him we have a dragon. This is the front part of him, and he goes all the way back to the tip of his tail right there, and this is one of his wings.
Oh.
One day, and he tripped and fell, and his lantern went into the stream, and it broke, and he was plunged into total darkness like this.
Ooh.
Okay, okay, you literally can't see your head in front of your face.
Yeah.
Our pupils are probably the size of our irises right now. Try to get some light. Eyes will never adjust because there's nothing to adjust to. There's light. The front part of the cavern is lit up right now. It's always lit up during working hours. But light won't bend, so we don't get any of that either. Now, if we had a situation where we were in the dark like this, we could find the railing. We could find the walkway right in front of us and find the railing and inch our way out of here. But he didn't have that either. All he had was the stream here in front of us. So he got on his hands and knees and he crawled out that lower passage. It took what takes us 10 minutes to do, took him over 3 hours.
Wow.
And he came out looking hecka haggard because he was pretty banged up from the rocks down there, but he made it. I like to think after that he got a bunch of lanterns and candles and a case of matches and kind of had them posted every 10 feet or so he wouldn't have to go through that ordeal again. And I like to show you this because there's only 2 places on the planet where we can experience total darkness like that. One is here, in a cavern like this, and the other is at the bottom of the ocean. Odds are we're never going to be there. So it's nice to be able to just experience it for a moment or two.
So all the other caverns have light, huh?
No, I'd say a cavern like this that is deep enough where you don't get light from anywhere else. I'm pretty sure they do it at Crystal Cave too. Yeah, that's the main thing. It has to be deep enough where you don't get any light from around the corners at all. I can't imagine, because the people that used to spend the night in here, I'm sure this is how they had to sleep. And what do you do if you have to get up in the middle of the night and use the bathroom, you know?
Yeah.
Dang. I think they were quite presumptuous. And before I turn the light back on, you notice how much louder the stream is now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really does get louder. It's crazy.
The hearing takes over.
Yeah. And quickly, too. All right. Now, are either of you gentlemen going to go down the lower passage into the water?
I've got dodgy feet, I'll take off my...
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Get the whole experience.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You might
You
want to
start from here?
No, it starts over here.
Oh, okay.
There's a cave system in South Africa called the Kango Cave. Kango Cave?
Yeah.
I've done 2 or 3 times.
So I'm gonna step on the follow the stream.
I was at a 600 miles drive to the Kango Cave, so you do it when you go on that.
Well, that is really cool. I bet it's expensive to do this in the ocean.
Oh, the shows, yes.
Yeah.
The shows are very
What is it, News River? Is it deep between going to the marathon?
Yeah,
Did you read that? Yeah, it's definitely coming out.
because I was doing Grand Canyon before my dad,
Uh-huh.
in 2015 and 1890.
Wow.
He was still a young 90-year-old.
Uh-huh.
I think he was a little younger brother in Calgary, and he took us just a van flight to like the week trip. And I took him down to Grand Canyon as well.
Uh-huh.
And I was quite surprised to read the Grand Canyon was deeper than
Tight spot. Tight spot. Tight spot. Whoa! I don't like this. I'm claustrophobic. Okay, this is the end. Ah, that's where the stairways goes from. Okay, I'm out.